Alright, so in my PJs and my slippers, we're going to pop out and check out how these varmint-proof raised garden beds turned out, made from IBC containers. These pallet tanks that you can get secondhand. You can sometimes get them like for 20 bucks, depending on, as cheap as $20, depending on who has them. And, you know, these here cost me 100 each. Wasn't a bad deal. They're the large size, 330 gallons, which is taller overall. The footprint, I think, is about the same. 275 is in here somewhere, and 330 is higher still. But basically, they come in a variety of styles. A pallet with a cage and a tank. These were all galvanized and welded and bolted. So essentially, they were wrapped with hardware cloth, size of your choice. You can use chicken wire. I wanted something that had more straightness and flatness and looked a little bit less janky. And zip tied it to the whole thing, starting at the top, hanging down. 36 inch got us to here, and 48 inch did all the way to the bottom. So this one is fully encapsulated. And then cut through our chain, or our cage, and our cloth. Used some radiator hose for the hinge. Worked out real nice, and sort of returns the door to closed. Made a pocket here, and just got some stainless steel S-beaners or whatever to hold the door open, which you can, with two hands, easily fish that through and just put it there. The sizing of the tube and everything is actually worked out so that it doesn't latch. It won't trip that, so you can just pick it right back off of here, which is kind of handy. Just again, with two hands is kind of easier. And then a piece of 3/4 inch PEX, which we did slice and stretch out. So that was cut and then stretched open to fit onto this size. But it provides that positive stop and just slides right over. And all these dimensions here worked out so that when it comes to a stop, it clears. When it comes to a stop over here, it's still crossing. And we protected these ends that we cut off up there with foam. All outdoor UV stabilized materials, galvanized steel, plastic, and foam, and vinyl, and I believe PEX is polyethylene or polypropylene or some kind of hybrid combination of the two of them. But we got a big heavy rain, and then I just opened the taps on these. They have a ball valve on them there to make sure the water all drains out and consolidates down, doesn't sit in here and turn into a swamp. I think you could modulate that to hold more water. You can certainly water it more, whether, instead of counting on just the rain to irrigate, or less so, or cover it or whatnot. But this will make a really nice, it's about 48 inches square. So it's about, what is that? Half of 30 square feet. 10, it's 4 by 4 is about 16 square feet or so of gardening area. And we could put a top on here, which we haven't done yet, but if you have berries or something, the birds will fly right in there and eat those. So you can just put a piece on top and then just whip stitch it with some outside cord, twine or something, or paracord or polyethylene baling twine, and just whip stitch it right around and attach it right to the top. And you can make these distances smaller, but we'll show you, dial those in. But it was a relatively easy project. You have to be able to go get a big tote in a truck. But as far as tools, some diagonal pliers, marker, measuring tape, a 2-foot piece of PEX, little project length rather than a full length at Home Depot is just a few bucks. Lowe's doesn't make these, but at least around me, Home Depot has the short pieces. Radiator hose, we use 5/8. That tube is 0.7, so it's a touch bigger than the inside of this, but not quite 3/4. And we get that by the foot at the car store. Some of this pipe insulation, you can get the kind that sticks to itself shut, or just ordinary without, for a few bucks. And this edging vinyl has got glue right down inside it, and that's how we trimmed all the hardware cloth to protect us from all the sharp edges. And that came again from the car store. This is just edge trim, 18 feet black. Did one of those gardens, just the door all the way around the door and all the way around the door opening. Comes in actually, you know, about this, what is that? So that makes for about 14 feet, if this is about 4 feet left. So that was relatively economical. What did this? $12 with a discount. We got that for about 8 or 9. And just the sweat equity and time involved. So check it out. That might be a nice solution, especially if you have a forklift or something like, you know, skid steer we've got, which can move those around the yard. But so thanks for watching. Maybe we'll have more quarantine projects. All right, we'll see you.